The other night, I was scrolling through my social media as us attention addicts do, and I started to feel a little bummed out. My feed was full of people graduating college, moving to new cities, going on vacations, partying, and before long I started thinking, man, my life is pretty lame. It's 2024, by now we know these are just highlight reels, but I couldn't help but picture all of these people living these glorified lives and wondering if mine was just boring by comparison. No, sure, I wake up at the same time every day, wear pretty much the same clothes, eat roughly the same breakfast, occasionally I forget to leave the house, and the days blur together until a week goes by without me noticing, but I'd hardly say that my life is. My life is boring. But is that a bad thing? Can I make it more exciting? Should I make it more exciting? Or is a boring life actually what makes me happy? Okay, but first things first, what is a boring life? Well, I looked up the definition of the word boring, and Google says it's not interesting, tedious. When you look at similar words, it's actually kind of fun. You get things like dull, soul-destroying, dry as dust. Not totally sure what that last one means, but my life is not dry as dust, okay? That ain't me. But there was another group of words like repetitive, lacking variety, tedious, and those pretty accurately describe my life. But that's somewhat intentional. I recently finished the book Grit by Angela Duckworth, which is about developing passion, perseverance, and working towards your goals. I'm always open to new ideas, and in one section of the book, it recommends thinking of your goals as a hierarchy, which gives structure to the rest of your life. You start with a clearly defined goal, and from there, break it down into smaller and smaller tasks to help you reach that goal. For me right now, one goal is to grow this YouTube channel, so for this example, I'll put that at the top. To grow this channel, I need two things: views and subscribers. To get views, I need to make a lot of videos, but I also need to make really good videos. Making a lot of videos requires devoting a lot of time to YouTube, so I need to schedule out time every day to put in some work. I also need to feel good physically and mentally. That means I should work out regularly, stretch daily, and eat relatively healthy. I also want to feel energized, which means getting 8 hours of sleep. For me, that's going to bed by 11 every night. Going back to the other side of the hierarchy, to make really good videos, I need to keep learning and improving. To do that, I can watch YouTube tutorials, read books on storytelling, and get feedback from someone else on my videos. You can get as obsessive as you want about this. I did it with other areas of my life as well, but when you start with what you're working towards, you can break it down into simple tasks that you can do day after day, week after week, year after year. It also gives you concrete reasons to do certain things. I go to bed on time because I want to feel energized. I stretch every day to have less back pain, and I keep learning to keep improving. I thought this was really cool because it's basically instructions that if I follow regularly should help me progress in life. And when I'm progressing in the things that really matter to me, that's super fulfilling. But the problem is, it is boring. It's super repetitive, and I'll be the first to say I don't always stick to it. As a whole, I love making YouTube videos. It's one of my favorite things in the world, but the reality is, it's not always fun. Sometimes I sit down with hours of footage, I'm watching myself screw up the same sentence 7 times in a row, and I'm just not having it. I'm also stretching daily right now, but a lot of days I hate it with a fiery passion. Stretching sucks. But both of these things are ultimately important to me. I'm doing them for a reason, even if on one particular day they feel dry as dust. So I'm always looking for creative ways to make repetitive activities more enjoyable. Sometimes that's working in a new location or listening to a podcast, or anything I can think of to keep me disciplined on the days I'm not feeling it. I've also noticed that it's actually the days I deviate from these good habits too much that I start to feel unhappy. Missing one workout or sleeping through one alarm or going a couple days without reading isn't a big deal. But I found that when I start taking shortcuts and miss one habit, it can quickly snowball out of control into a messy and unproductive week. And I want to make this clear, there's so much more to life than just being productive all the time and worrying about goals 24/7. I'll totally stay up way too late on a Friday night and sleep in on Saturday. A couple of months ago, I took a trip to Japan, and it was the opposite of every definition of the word boring. But these big Instagram-worthy moments are only a small part of my life. The rest is pretty repetitive, but I'm trying to make it repetitive with a purpose. They aren't as glamorous or sexy as maybe I'd like them to be, but it's these boring, repetitive tasks that compound into an intentional life that I love, even if I don't enjoy them in one particular moment. But if my interests change or I set new goals, or every day starts to feel dry as dust, yeah, I'm gonna change things up.